All right, gentlemen, give me just a moment. We're in the 3 p.m. And today we are working on section 2.2, polynomial functions. Okay. All right, gentlemen. So we're going to start here on this blank screen. No real announcements other than we're just going to be working on the next progression. On Monday, we made it about halfway through the lecture for 2.2 polynomial functions. I'm going to piggyback off my pre-recorded lectures. So there's some stuff in that second half that you're responsible for. It's not obvious. You definitely want to, be sure to go through that video as if you're in class and take notes and write down your questions. So for today, as usual, if you do have questions, feel free to unmute yourself so we can talk about it or type in the chat. I am going to be monitoring the chat. So for today, what we're going to do is work on the corresponding homework for section 2.2 polynomial functions, all right? Hey, Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 20.
A random number between 1 and 20 is 11.
All right, let's start off with 11. Get the party started. Let's close this out. Like this. So in the chat, can somebody tell me what's the y-intercept here? Can anybody tell me what's the y-intercept? And just, take your time. I'm going to play like some quiz show music just to give you some time. All right. Let's go to the next one. All right. Let me read this out. I'll leave it on the board for now. It says, match the polynomial function with this graph, use the leading term test and the y-intercept, right? How do we find the y-intercept in the chat? How do we find the y-intercept? I'll leave it open for like another 10 seconds. This has like a Mario feel to it. I like this one. Nobody? Going once? Going twice? Okay. That one's closed. Y-intercept is easy. You let x be 0, the answer is 7. All right. You can pretty much just look at that when you get the result. All right, 7. Okay. So let's see who's next. Opportunities don't go away, they just go to who's next. Let me zoom out some. You guys can see this. This and like this. And let me go ahead and activate the poll. So for this one, we'll do a poll, general multiple choice. Yeah, that's the right poll. Launch. Okay, so there is a poll that's active on Zoom right now. This one asks us to match the polynomial function. Let me turn this down. All right, go pause it. So it says match the polynomial function with this graph, right? Use the leading term test and the y-intercept. So we kind of discussed the y-intercept. We're going to take about 20 seconds and just, in the poll in Zoom, submit which one do you think is correct, right? So before I start the clock, let me see. So, and I'll kind of prime it a little bit. So we want to use the leading term test. So in class, that's where we had the 4 different cases. We actually did the 4 cases twice, right? But it was the same 4 repeated twice. So using the leading term test, because our leading coefficient is positive, right? It's a positive 1. So that tells us something about the graph. And then if we consider the degree of the polynomial, right? Then whether it's even or odd, if the degree is even, that means one thing. If it's odd, that means the other. So I'm going to give you like 20 seconds. Just, it doesn't hurt to guess, but which one do you think is correct? Again, we're in the poll. There's a poll that's on Zoom. Okay, let's just take some time. I am not feeling this one. Let's try a different one. I'm not feeling any of these. But we'll take 20 seconds. Eight, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, cool. No worries. I'm going to close the poll. Let me see. So the leading term test, the leading coefficient is a positive 1. So that means it goes up to the right. So it can't be C, it can't be D, right? And then the degree of the polynomial is 3, which is odd. So that means the other side does the opposite. So it should go up to the right, down to the left. So we're going to go with B. And check. Okay, that was cool. Let's go on to the next one. Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 20.
A random number between 1 and 20 is 4.
4. Let's check out 4. Okay, I'm going to relaunch the poll. Relaunch. General multiple choice. Okay, so poll is active. I'm not sure if you guys are there. I might need to go update my attendance because I'm not getting any responses. So if I'm not getting responses to me, you guys are not here. If you're not here, you don't deserve attendance credit, right? But I'm going to let that be for now. Explain why the given function is not a polynomial function. Let's zoom in some. Okay. Can we zoom in a little more? I mean, that's fine, I guess. Yeah. Nope. Let's zoom out. It was fine. Okay. So maybe let me check my audio. Yeah, I think my audio is good. Can you guys hear me? Let's go to the poll. Okay. All right. So we're gonna take okay, now we're cooking. Okay, we got finally a brave soul. I was like, are you guys there? Making me nervous. Okay, so we're gonna take some time. I'm gonna take 10 or 20 seconds, explain why the given function is not a polynomial function. I'll let you kind of read through that on your own. What do you think? Don't blink. If you do, you're gonna miss it. Don't blink. You're gonna miss it. Don't blink. What do you think? Don't blink. You're gonna miss it. Don't blink. What do you think? Okay. It's just having some fun. Okay, let's see. So I'll leave it open for a little bit longer to try to get some more people involved. Explain why the given function is not a polynomial function. A, the function is not a polynomial function because of the presence of the absolute value. That's promising. The function is not a polynomial function because the leading coefficient is 1. Nope, you can strike that one. I'm going to go ahead and close the poll. Okay. The function is not a polynomial function because of the presence of a negative constant. Nope. The function is not a polynomial function because the graph is not a continuous curve. Okay, we got to vote for A. I feel I resonated with A. Let's go with that. All right, cool. Let me see who this is. Download. View. Okay, cool. Got it. Let me take my notes. Right. This was the 2 p.m. A 18th. Okay. Now to note 3 p.m. That's why I wrote 3. Okay. And that was I got it here. Okay. Okay, cool beans, just like that. Okay, let's keep it moving. Music got me amped. Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 20.
A random number between 1 and 20 is 4.
4. Did we do 4 already? Why are they doing this? They're being so repetitive. I'm choosing them so that I'm not being repetitive, and they just take it upon themselves to be repetitive. But we already have something in place to account for that, so we're going to move on to 5. Okay. This is also multiple choice. So I'm just going to relaunch my poll. Relaunch. And okay, so there is an active poll in Zoom. It's a good idea to just engage, even if you guess, you don't have anything to lose. You're here, right? You might as well make the most of it, right? Determine if the following function is a polynomial function. If it is, identify the degree. Is this a polynomial function, yeah or nay? Let's take 20 seconds. I think I'm gonna try a different song. I like that one though. Ooh. Oh, I'm feeling this one. So if it's the first choice, you would put A. If it's the second choice, you would put B. This is like Montauk music. Not Montauk. What's the not a monologue? What is it called when you're doing something like you're condensing it? What is that called? Dang, it just slipped my mind. You guys there? I know I have at least one person here, and so if I have at least one, that is enough for me. Okay. I was waiting for the base. I thought the base was going to drop. Okay, I'm going to close the poll. This is like a do or die 50-50. So we're going to go with that. Not a polynomial. I definitely resonate with that. I'm pretty sure it's the same person, but let's see. Cool. Let me see who gets the credit here. Download the results. View. Yeah. Okay, cool beans. Okay, so he's taking an early lead. People are still being afraid or whatever. I don't know. Okay. Hey, Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 20.
A random number between 1 and 20 is 18.
18. You don't want to sleep on this one. I'm telling you. Like, it's easy, boys. It's like so easy. I don't know how to be more clear. Let's relaunch the poll. Okay, we're going to take like 20 seconds, give or take. Let me start by, the poll is active. Let me start by reading this part, and then again, we'll do a timer. I was kind of feeling this one. We're going to go with this one. Reload. Okay. So for this function, answer the following question. First, we're going to talk about the end behavior of the function, right? So, we can see it there. Let me see if I zoom in some. If I go like this. That's decent, I guess. Okay, so let's just take about 20 or 30 seconds to just think about it. And even if you guess A through D, you don't lose anything, right? Nothing to lose and everything to gain. Let's try. Let's take about 20 seconds or so. This has potential. 10 seconds. All right, I probably won't use this one again. Not really feeling that one. It's like if it had a bass drop, I think it would have been like, I need to find like an EDM or a techno quiz show, game show music. Okay, so far I've only had one person, racking up on everything. So it is what it is. I'm not gonna kind of stress that. I'll leave the poll open for a little bit longer while I kind of go through this. Let me see. So we're doing in-graph behavior, right? So we need to look at the leading term, but look how it's given to us, right? It's not given to us in expanded form. It's given to us in factored form, right? So with something like this, if we want to identify the leading term, it's a good idea to expand it on some level, right? So if we distribute that negative 4x squared into the binomial, the linear binomial, our leading term is actually going to be negative 4x to the power of 3, right? 4x squared times x is going to give us 4x to the power of 3, right? So if our leading term is negative 4x to the power of 3, that means our leading coefficient is negative 4, which means I'm going to close the poll now. So which means our graph should fall to the right, right? At negative 4, our graph falls to the right. Since the degree is going to be 3, which is an odd number, that means the other side does the opposite. So that means our graph should fall to the right and rise to the left. Falls to the right, nope. And we said rise to the left and falls to the right. Oh, I think it's just D. So I think B is incorrect. I'm just gonna go with D. I don't think anybody got points there because there was only one person participating, and I think that one was wrong, right? Which is okay. No points lost, nothing lost. A little bit of feedback, right? Okay, so let's do another one. Actually, there's another part. Sketch the graph. I really don't feel like doing this. Okay, so this is a power 3 function. I think I'm gonna just plot a few points. I think we need like 4 points. We know it should fall to the right, rise to the left, and it should have approximately two turning points, right? Okay, let me zoom out some. Make it like this. Let me click to enlarge. I kind of need some space. Okay. Let me suppress this for right now so I can give myself a little bit of space. Okay. All right, so we know we're working with a cubic function, so I'm going to click this guy here. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm just going to click four random spots. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just click 4 random places, all right? So then now, what we'll do, we'll just choose several values of x and find the corresponding y. Okay, let's start off when x is -2, it looks like that's going to be one of our zeros, right? When x is -2, so that's one of our zeros. So I'll slide that to 0, -2. -2, 0, right? Oh, let's stop this music. I'm not feeling it. -2, is that it? -2, 0, right? That was 1 point. When x is 0, that's also another 0. So I'll go ahead and put the origin in there. Okay, I'm just dragging these to the right location as best I can. Trying to get to the origin. 0.5. There it is. Okay. So we got to the origin there. Let's do when x is 2. When x is 2, that's a 4 times 4 is 16. No, that goes off the chart, right? What about when x is 1? That's a 3 times 4 is a -12. So when x is 1, y is a -12. Okay, that looks like a -12 there. Maybe not. That looks like 12.5 actually. Okay, I think that's it. That looks better. Okay. And then let's do when x is -3. So when x is, oh no. Okay. When x is -3, that's going to be a -1. Oh man, this is looking, I think it goes way off the chart. -3 looks like it goes off of our chart. Let's try when x is -1. When x is -1, that's a 1. That's a 1. So it's just -4. Ooh. Okay, let's see if we can get it to work. Right there. Oh. So all I did was drag it. So we said it goes down to the right, up to the left. It has, notice that the origin, when x is 0, it has a multiplicity of 2. So that means it's supposed to bounce off the graph, which it does. When x is -2, it has an odd multiplicity, so it should cross the graph, and it does. It passes through our x-intercepts. It has the right in-graph behavior, so we're going to go with this, okay? So let's check our answer. Okay. All right, so that one was a bit challenging, right? That graph, but we got through it. Let me check on Zoom, check on you guys. Let's close the poll. Okay, we got everybody there. All right, let's keep going. Can we, no, it's not there. Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 20.
A random number between 1 and 20 is 11.
11. What? We did 11. Let's go to 12. Okay, let's go here. Okay, so I think this is a chat one. Says for the polynomial function, list the zeros, right? So notice this is already in factored form. If anybody else wants credit, first one to put the correct answer in the chat will receive credit, and I'm going to give it, I don't know, 10 or 20 seconds. So let me pull up the chat, and let me try the next one. I'm not feeling that one. Let's try that again. As soon as I can hear the music, I know it works. This is a weird one. Okay, let's take I'm gonna give it like 20 seconds. Okay, I see 7 and -4. Okay, I think that might be correct. Let's give it a go. 7 and -4. Let's see. Nice work. Cool. Okay, so let me give him credit. To the next one. What's the multiplicity of 7, right? So what's the power? So the first correct answer in the chat gets the credit. This is open to everybody, you know, anybody that wants the extra credit or whatever. Let's take another 10 seconds. Okay, so the multiplicity on the 0 is going to be the power associated with that 0, right? So the multiplicity of the 7, the power on that 7 is going to be a 1. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that one. Okay. And then now can you tell me the multiplicity of -4? Let's go to the next song. This is funky. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. All right. 2. Go with it. That looks good. Okay, cool. Let me log that real quick. On to the next one. Hey Siri, never mind. Cancel.
I found some web results. I can show them if you ask again from your iPhone.
Thank you, Siri. Determine whether the graph crosses. Now, so this is one of those concepts that was in that second half of the notes when I encourage you guys to watch my pre-recorded lecture. This whole narrative, this whole discussion came in the second half that we didn't have time to go through together, right? You would only know this in 1 or 2 cases, either maybe a third case. Either you watched my pre-recorded lecture and you took notes, that's the only way you would know this, or if you've already finished the homework and you've thought about it and you've seen this, you would know it. And the third case is if somehow you've seen it before you came to this course, right? So, you know, when I'm encouraging you to use those recordings, it's not for no reason, right? Because again, we don't have a lot of time together, so that's why I use those recordings. So for instance, it says, what does the graph do when x is 7? So because the multiplicity of 7 is 1, which is an odd number, whenever the multiplicity is odd, that means it's going to cross at that x value, right? So if we were to look at this graph, our function is going to cross the x-axis at x equals 7 because it has an odd multiplicity. So it's going to cross the x-axis. I'm just going to submit that one. Okay. So then when it has an odd multiplicity, it crosses, then the -4 having a multiplicity of 2, which is an even number, whenever it has an even multiplicity, that means it bounces off the x-axis. So it touches the x-axis and turns around when x is 4, right? So again, you would only have been aware of that if you either watched my video or if you did this assignment already, and maybe a few other cases, right? Okay. Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 20.
A random number between 1 and 20 is 20.
20, okay. Let's look at 20. Okay, let me relaunch the poll. So let's see. Relaunch for general multiple choice. Okay, so the poll is active. I'll give you like some time once I finish reading the. Oh, sorry. Woo. Oh, ooh, at least I'm not sleepy today. That's how I feel about it. Okay. Let's see. So for this function, answer the following questions. We're asked to describe the end behavior of the graph of f, right? So let's recap with the end graph behavior. So the end graph behavior of the function, what we said together was like, okay, the leading coefficient tells us about the right-hand side and the degree of the polynomial tells us about the left. If the leading coefficient is positive, the right-hand side goes up. Leading coefficient is negative, right-hand side goes down. If the degree of the polynomial is even, the other side does the exact same. If the degree of the polynomial is odd, the other side does the opposite, right? So those are the 4 cases kind of summarized. So now the way they gave us this one is in factored form. So we can't readily see the leading term, but we can, do a calculation to determine the leading term, right? So if we were to just expand it out, now we don't need all the terms, we just need the leading term, right? So we have this x minus 1 squared. That just means x minus 1 times x minus 1, right? I feel like I should change my attendance because I only got one person engaging. So to me, it's like only one person is conscious, right? One person is here. That's the only person that really deserves credit, for attendance and everything today. I really feel like I should go back and either change. You don't want me to change it to absent because then that can mess with their money, literally, directly. Because I'm look, you weren't engaging, you weren't here, right? You came in, then you turned your phone off and went to sleep, right? To me, that's what it says. But anywho, But again, as long as I can keep my mood up, I won't do that. But if I get irritated, then I will go back and remove that, right? But that's all based on my mood and based on how you guys respond. But it doesn't really matter. It really doesn't at the end of the day. As long as your money's not being messed with, right? If your money starts getting affected, then it does matter, right? So anyway, but let's do our best to not go down that road. So when we have the x minus 1 squared, that just means x minus 1 times x minus 1, right? So then if we were to expand this out, but if we just focus on the first term, we're going to have x times x times x times x. We're going to have a total of 4 x's, right? So the leading term is really just going to be x to the power of 4, right? X to the power of 4. So if our leading term is x to the power of 4, the leading coefficient is what? A positive 1, right? A positive leading coefficient. What happens? Let me give you I'm gonna give you at least 20 seconds to think about this and submit a result. Let's see what this one sounds like. Oh, this is that one. Let's try the next one. Ooh, this one sounds like no. I'm not feeling this one. I don't like this. Okay. Yeah, it's weird. I'm gonna let it ride. Let's take 20 seconds. I'm not feeling this, and I probably won't do this one again. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, there we go. I knew somebody. I was like, I know somebody's here. Somebody can hear me. There it is. Okay. All right. So let's see. I think he's just like, I don't know. I don't know who's correct. I don't know. But again, the points go to whoever gets. Whenever you get it right, you get credit for it, right? Okay. So I'll let the poll stay open for a little bit longer. Okay. So I think we said that what? X to the power of 4 is our leading term. So the leading coefficient is a positive 1. So we anticipated to go up to the right. Okay. And then I think we had an even degree polynomial, right? So that means the other side does the exact same. So it should go up to the right and up to the left. I'm resonating with A. Okay, I'm going to close the poll, right? I think A is correct. So I'm going to go with A. Let me hit enter. Okay, cool. I think I know who that is. Let me just confirm. All right. Stop sharing. Download view. And I'm going to screenshot. Okay. It's not bad. I was just I'm thinking of some other stuff. Okay. I am going to log something. I'll say something about it later. Okay. Okay, so nothing there. Let's go here. And it's still, I mean, honestly, people can still catch up. Like if you catch on and you like engage, you can actually catch up and bypass them. That's what happened with the last class. Like it was kind of neck and neck. And then one question popped up and one student just he wasn't playing around. He was like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm going to make sure to get mine. Like he was not playing around. He was out for blood. I was like, geez, let somebody else try to get it. But I try to make it fair or whatever. Okay. So let me relaunch the poll. Yeah. What's the time? We got a solid 10 minutes. Okay. And then it's over, right? If we got to be here, let's try to have some fun, right? If we have to be here and we got to talk about this. If it were up to me, I would just be gaming, practicing my Matilda. Man, she is so much fun on Mobile Legends. Oh my God, I love that update. I just be I'd be taunting the opponents. I'd be in their face, be like, nah. I'd be just all up in their mind. I'd be pretending like I don't know they're there. And then they try to attack me. Then I take to the sky, circle them, and then dash out. I'd be trying to lure them. They start chasing me. I'm like, come on. Because I built her for speed. I built her for you to chase me. I'd be luring them in the traps. Man, this stuff be so much fun. You gotta, but I was gonna say you gotta watch my my games because I post them every now and then. But what I need to do on my end, I need to go back and make a highlight reel. There's a content creator I follow. His name is Bitowski. But he's the one that he teaches a lot on how to play the game. And his stats are unreal. How are your stats so high? His win rate is ridiculously high. He almost never loses. I'll be trying to look for him in the game, but I can't find him because it's in Chinese characters or whatever. But when he does his videos, he does highlight reels and he does this dramatic music. And I was I just need to take some time and try. Right. Okay. I think we have at least one vote for one of these responses here. Okay. So let's see, sketch the graph, right? So we said our leading term was x to the power of 4. It had a positive leading coefficient, which means it should go up to the right. It had the degree of the polynomial was 4, which is even. So that means the other side does the exact same. So our graph should go up to the right and up to the left. Okay, we got another vote. Okay, I'll leave it open for a little bit longer. We said up to the right, up to the left. It can't be A, but B, C, and D are still in the runnings. Okay, there is a vote for C. Okay, all right. So since it can still be either B, C, or D. Let's see what else can we do. Maybe we could find the y-intercept if we multiply those constant terms, like we found the leading term or whatever. -1 times 2 is -2 times -3 is what? 6, a positive 6. That's 130. It looks like it can't be C, nor can it be D. So it can't be A, it can't be C, it can't be D. Yeah, I'm gonna go with B. Let me end the poll. Okay, we got another person coming out. Okay, cool. Yeah, you guys are there. I was like, hey, wake up. I most of the time, I just let you kind of do what you're gonna do. You sleep. Sometimes I'm like, hey, I need some feedback, guys. And the poll, you don't have to say things. Just click a button, right? It's not asking too much. Okay, let's go with B. Let's see what happens. We got it wrong. Okay, let me think about it. So I got my y-intercept. We said 6, right? Maybe that didn't work. -2 times -3 is a positive 6. Let me think about it. It should be positive. That potentially could be 6. We said the leading coefficient. It's supposed to be negative. Am I missing something somewhere? Oh, the squared. I was missing the squared. That's exactly what it is. I just ignored the squared. So it's -1 times -1 is +1 times 2 times -3. So that puts it at -6. So that means it could still be C or D. I forgot about the square. So it's definitely not B. Since somebody voted for C, here, let's rationalize, get to confirm C before we submit it. So because of the form that is given to us it's in fully factored form. That means we can quickly identify our x-intercepts, right? The x-intercepts, the zeros, the roots, and the solution. I think in class we said that these terms can be used interchangeably. Give me just a moment. Oh, that's cool. That works for me. Sorry. Send. Okay. Done. Save. Okay. So for instance, when x is 1, that's going to be one of our x-intercept, and it should bounce off the graph when x is 1. It's not A or B, and it's not bouncing for D, so it should be C. C looks promising. Okay, let's see who our winner is. Let's go with C. Once we identify that, C is the only one that rises to the right, rises to the left, and has the correct x-intercept, right? At least that first one, behaving the proper way. So I'm going to go with that. Okay. So let's see who chose C. That's interesting. Even I got it wrong, right? But it's okay. It happens. Mr. Calhoun in the house. Okay. Let's see. And coming to the stage, the Vanilla, Mr. Calhoun. I don't know. I got to work on that. I definitely got to work on that. Your hype man, B. Calhoun. All right. Calhoun. No, I was. There was this content creator. I was maybe a couple of weeks ago. He was introducing his special guest, his speaker for the evening. And I mean, he just hyped her up so much. I was like, what? Like everybody was like, we didn't know you could do that. He was like, actually, yeah, it's something I used to do. I used to be a hype man. I've actually opened like in the Madison Square Garden. It's not me, but this content creator. It was just really interesting. I was like, wow. So now that's what went through my mind. Let me, it's fine. I'll go ahead and give credit there. It's fine. I know what happened in the other one, but it's fine. Okay. All right. Let's try another one. Hey, Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 20.
A random number between 1 and 20 is 9.
9. Okay. All right. Just needed to know that you guys are alive. Okay. So this one goes to first person in the chat that can get it correct. So this is an opportunity to kind of like get caught up if you're behind. Let's see. So first it asks for the y-intercept for this guy. What is the y-intercept? So How do we find the y-intercept? We do what? Set something to something. Let's see. I'll set a timer, not a timer, but a little bit of music. So what this is supposed to be a non-copywritten game show quiz playlist. That's what you keep hearing. Oh, this one's trippy. Let's take a few seconds. Can anybody identify the y-intercept? And the hint is, to find the y-intercept, we set x equal to 0. Let's give it another 10 seconds. If you set x equal to 0, what's the result? Uh-oh. 5, 4. Okay, there we go. It was like, it's no worries. Okay, so yeah, that looks good, right? If you let x be 0, then the result is going to be 0, right? So I'm just going to put 0 and keep it moving. I like that one. That one was interesting. That was like a thinking soundtrack. Let's zoom out some. Actually, I gotta go like this. Okay, choose the correct graph, right? So we have this negative x to the 4 plus x squared. This is what we kind of been doing all day. Leading term test. Let's take some time to think about it. "15 seconds. Not your fault. Sorry, I got it. Let me relaunch the poll. Let's go to polls, relaunch. Okay, so there is an active poll. Let's reset the clock. Ooh, interesting. Let's take another 10 seconds. This was weird. I don't know how I feel about this one. This music is like taking me on an adventure. I keep getting like images and visualizations from the different internet, from the different sounds or whatever. Like this one sounds like somebody creeping and sneaking in like Asia, like in a Patagonia or a temple or something. Like, I don't know if they're trying to like steal something or espionage or a spy or plant bugs, but it feels like somebody's creeping and sneaky. Okay. All right, let's stop that one. I'm gonna close the poll. All right. So we got at least 2 contenders there. Let's see. So the leading term is negative x to the 4, right? So that means our leading coefficient is -1. That means it needs to go down to the right, so it cannot be b. It shouldn't be b, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just go with a. Well, the leading coefficient is -1, so that means our graph should fall to the right. Because the degree of the polynomial is 4, which is an even number, that means the other side does the exact same. So it should fall to the right, fall to the left. The only one that does that is a. And let's see who our contender is. Let's see, I think A is good. Share. Nope. I just want to download. I just want to view. That's fine. Here. So, and then on my end, I feel better knowing there's at least one person that's kind of getting it. And then I don't know if you guys have a group me or not. I know a lot of my courses have group meets going. I think it's a fantastic idea. I encourage it. Each one teach one. Honestly, that's how I learned a lot of this stuff. I kind of got to a certain level of proficiency on my own. And then next thing you know, I was a tutor. Not that I'm anybody. I'm not anybody. I'm just saying this was just part of my story, my origin story. It was a dark night. It was 3 a.m. I got stories, by the way. I got some other ones from Morehouse, some trippy things. But yeah, I just became a tutor, and then once I started tutoring people, then my level of understanding of my level of comprehension, went through the roof, because you have to think different to try to explain to somebody else. Did he get his credit? I think so. Let's do one more. Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 20.
A random number between 1 and 20 is 11.
Siri, you are letting me down. That's okay. We'll go to 13. Multiple choice would be nice. Okay, can somebody in the chat type the zeros here? Notice that it's given to us in fully factored form. So can you tell me the zeros pretty quickly? Let's take like no more than 20 seconds. Let's go to the next song. Let's take 20 seconds. Okay, I think there's a vote. Let me see. I'm just going to submit what you have. 9 and -6. Okay. And then, what's the multiplicity of 9? And it's still open to anybody. Let's take a few seconds on that one. Like no more than 23. Multiplicity of 9, 3. I can get down with that. Let me pause this. Multiplicity of 9, we get this. Well, I need to make a order. What's today's date? The 18th. Okay, I got time. I just need to hurry up and do it. Okay. Find the multiplicity of -6. Okay. All right. Come on. Okay. All right. So then if you feel like it's, what happens when it's 9? Does it cross or does it touch? Let me kind of do the poll real quick. So other people can try to get some of this with this last question. Okay, so there's an active poll. If you feel like it's the first choice, you would choose A. If you feel like it's the second, you choose B. We'll take like 10 seconds. So when X is 9, notice that 9 has an odd multiplicity. So the multiplicity is 3, right? If it has an odd multiplicity, does that mean it crosses or that means it touches? A few more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay, cool. We got another person in there. I can get down with that. Let's see. Let's submit it. Okay, let me see who we got. Download. I just want to view. Okay, let me see. He's back on the board. Oh, that actually changes things. Let's do. I think we got a little bit more. I'm about to get you guys out of here. So what happens at -6? If an odd multiplicity means it crosses, then this one should be a gimme. Let me just relaunch this bad boy. All right, so is it relaunch? Is it A or is it B? We're working with -6 and the multiplicity is 2, which is even. Let's take like 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, let's go. Okay, cool beans. Okay, cool. We got somebody else in there. But most are for A. Yeah, that looks good, right? So it has an even multiplicity, which means that it's gonna basically bounce off the x-axis. So let's go with touches. Let's see if we can get these points out. Let's see who we got here. Let's download, view, and let me see. Calhoun. Okay. Same people. Okay, cool. No worries. Oh, it's so close. Ooh. Was that the end of it? Was there another one? I think that was it. Okay, this could be the deal breaker, depending on who gets it. Matter of fact, no, I'm gonna just leave it open. What am I gonna do? Yeah, let me just leave it open. Potentially, because it's actually really close, at least for a certain portion of it. The maximum number of turning points, right? So this is gonna be for the chat, right? So first person to get it correct in the chat gets the credit. So the turning points, right? Think about it. If we had a quadratic, which is a degree 2, how many turning points are there? The maximum number, right? If we had a cubic, which is an S-shaped curve, what's the maximum number of turning points that we could potentially have? So there should be a correlation between the degree of the polynomial and the potential number of maximum number of turning points possible, right? What's the degree of this guy? The degree, if you say x to the power of 3 times x squared, is going to give us x to the power of 5. So then if the degree is, if it's a degree 5, what's the maximum number of turning points? Let's just take like 10 seconds. Five, 4, 3. Oh, I thought we can do a tiebreaker. All right. I think I'm gonna close it because we're kind of out of time. So this is a degree 5 polynomial. So we have at most 4 turning points, all right? N-1. So let's go 4. Okay, so if you didn't catch on, right? Basically what I was doing is all semester, I kind of have always wanted to do like extra credit and I kind of been putting it off. So let me kind of show you my results for the day. I'm just gonna get a screenshot. here. So that's what I was doing, was basically trying to figure out how I'm going to divvy out extra credit today, but it was clear. Like I had to like coerce, but you know, it's okay. It's like that sometimes. You know, it's just like that sometimes. Let me go here. And then maybe you don't take it, somebody else will, right? That's all that it happens. That's all that it means. Why do I always do this? It always takes a long time. Oh, it's playing another one as well. Oh, let's copy. Maybe I can just paste it or something. It always does this. Share. Come on. Okay, let me just write it. So it just seems like it's taking sweet time. So basically, so the student that gets the most points for the day, I usually signifies double star. That's our first place. They get like 10 points, right? And I'll explain the points in just a moment. Second place, I've been doing 5 points there. And then if you participated, 3, right? And so the way I usually do extra credit, you could potentially earn up to 100 points. And at the end of the semester, usually what I do is like, I'll scale that so that it's 10% of your overall grade. So if you somehow, but by the end of the semester, max out your extra credit, I'm going to log it in my records or whatever. If you were to get your extra credit to like 100 points, then like say you finished at a 77, it'll boost your grade to an 87. But it's what it means is every time there's an opportunity to get extra credit like this, you definitely want to go for it. You never know how those points are going to help to create a cushion, you know, because anything can happen, right? And those extra credit, it comes in handy for a lot of students when they take advantage of it. But a lot of times it is the students that don't need it that take advantage, and the ones that do need it, you know, but I can't give points if I don't have a record of anything, right? So it's not really, my image won't copy for whatever reason. Let me see if I can copy it here. I'm gonna try one more time. But it's not necessary. So for today, with what is that? 9 points. Well, the first place who got the most today was Mr. Jackson. All right. So congratulations. And then my second place. Now it was close. Like second place was actually close. Like I was trying to. That's why I kept trying to throw out like a few additional questions to try to, because like y'all were neck and neck and y'all were tied, and then it like got skewed. I was like and so I was trying to get another person to get caught up, because if y'all had tied, then I would have given y'all the points. So second place officially goes to Mr. John. That's what my records have. And then for participating is Mr. Calhoun. So these are the 3 gentlemen that I had participating for today. So that's the point distribution. And again, anybody that got a question correct at least once today, again, if you participated, you got at least 3 points out of the potential 100 for the semester. Again, the goal is the closer you can get to 100, if you get your extra credit to 100 by the end of the semester, it can potentially boost your overall grade by 10 points. So, which is a whole letter grade. If you finish at a B, it could boost you to an A. If you finish at a C, it could boost you to a B. So, but that requires maximizing your extra credit. Okay. All right, gentlemen, I do need to get ready for another class. Are there any burning questions for me before we go in separate ways? Going once, going twice. All right, gentlemen, if there are any burning questions, we're going to end the session here. And from one beautiful mind to another, enjoy your weekend, and we'll meet back next week, same time, same place. Take care, guys. Peace.
I do have one question, like for
Yes.
students who still don't have like an access code, for what can we do about that? And like how can our grade be compensated for
Well, first task is getting full access. Once you get full access, you will have access to the assignments and you'll get most of your credit. I don't think it's fair to give you access to full credit, but I might augment the late penalty. Instead of 10% late penalty, I might change it to 5. But the first task is just get get full access to Pearson. And then after that, maybe I might just, instead of changing the late penalty from 10 to 5, I might just do more extra credit. So that's why it's important to take advantage of the extra credit, because that way you might still be hit with the 10% late penalty, but if you maximize your extra credit, then it evens out.
All right, thank you. And then so the extra credit that I got today, does that goes towards my grade, is what you're saying?
Yeah. So it's a point-based system. For the semester, you can earn a maximum of 100 points. So that's the point distribution for today. And I'm just keeping a record on my end, and then at the end, I'm going to take those points, scale them so that they're 10% of your overall grade, right? So 10 points counts as 1%, 1 point of your overall grade, like 1% of your overall grade, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
You as well. Let me log this. Yeah, here it is. This one, right here. This one right here is this one. Okay. How do I get out of this? Done. Okay. That is correct. And then this one is that. Okay. Done. Okay. And then that one is, listen to my voice, is this one. Okay. Cool beans, guys. Again, you did great. I'm proud of you guys. Yeah, it's like, if I didn't get anybody engaged, and I was like, are you guys here? I would think that you're not here. And then I'm like, oh man, maybe I didn't take attendance right, But we had at least a few people to save today. So, okay, guys. All right, have a good weekend, and we'll try again next time. Take care. Peace. Okay. I don't know why that wouldn't load. Let's go like this. I think you guys are okay.